Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds and starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life, like I did. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. And I can see there are some folks here already. Hello, hello. And for those of you who are first timers, I talk on a topic for a few minutes and then I turn my attention to the comments of the lovely folks who bother to show up. And by the way, I know someone's here from California. Very humbling that you would get up so early. So thank you. Today's topic is, as the title implies, there's keto versus keto versus keto. And of course, you can slip in carnivore and then people call it kind of crazy names, which I don't understand. You know, oh, I'm doing lazy keto. I'm doing dirty keto. I don't know. Is there a slutty keto? I don't know. Which one is best? And that's what many people want to know. Which one is the right one? Here's my opinion. The right one is whichever one works for you. And it doesn't have to be keto. You can be vegan and you can be happy and healthy and well adjusted and great. You can be a pescatarian. You can follow the standard American diet and be happy and healthy and trim and feel good about yourself. For me, though, and I am probably like most people metabolically meaning the way our system handles the nutrition that we take in. I'm probably like most people metabolically. I got there to the point where things were not good earlier than many people, younger or early in my life. But I'm just going to chalk that up to me being highly advanced. The ketogenic protocol, as I follow it and as has worked for me, all these now, it's 8.5 years. Carbs, 20 grams or fewer a day, total carbs, not net. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. It's just fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables, and limited amounts of full-fat dairy if you can tolerate it. And you don't have to eat the vegetables or the dairy. It's pretty much fatty sources of protein. So there's that. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. And be patient. Be patient. That I just added that a few weeks ago. Because we do need to be patient. Now, that's as I do it. There are people, and I hear from people. Frankly, it's not a competition, so you don't need to lambaste me with the fact that you can eat bread and 150 grams of carbs a day and you're perfectly happy and healthy. Awesome. I don't know really why you're watching a keto channel, but that's okay. I don't get a vote on what anyone else eats. And let me let you in on a secret. I don't really care what anybody else eats. I'm disinterested. I want to be healthy. You can go to my blog and see, link below. You can see my before photos. They not even before. They're like not at my heaviest. I'm 5'1". There's no place to hide 100 pounds on a 5-foot frame. So I was perfectly round. And I had tried all the stuff we've all tried. I was overweight, obese, and morbidly obese starting from my mid-20s to my mid-50s when I started 20 grams or fewer. If it's not on page 4, don't eat if you're not hungry. But I tried all the other stuff. And like many of us, I was on a constant quest for the answer. What works? This works for me. But I'm different than somebody who's 27 and a dude and 6 feet tall. What works for me is going to possibly be different than what works for that person. What works for me now might be different than what someone who's 85, what they do. So we need to find what works for us. And let's give each other a break and quit knocking other people if they are successful? And how about other people quit knocking us if we're successful? I actually heard someone who had lost about 22 pounds. This person had worked out like a demon, intense workouts for years. And at the same time that they decided to peel back a little bit on the intense workout, because let's face it, you're working out and exercising, you're probably going to be hungrier more often. So peel back a little bit on the exercise and just started following the protocol. This person eats way more vegetables than I do, but that's okay. It suits them. Let me tell you what, at the gym, this person was actually, we've heard of fat shaming. This person was exercise shamed. What are you doing? How did you lose the weight? Well, I kind of cut back on my exercise a little bit and I'm laying off the carbs. Well, they gave the other people gave this person the stink eye, not because of laying off the carbs, but because of cutting back on exercise a little bit. Oh, like, what do they care? And again, it's kind of human nature. If you have an idea and other people start having that idea, there start to be encampments. No, my keto is better than your keto. Or my carnivore is much better than your carnivore. Oh, your carnivore? Well, are you being only locally sourced, non-GMO, grass-fed carnivore? Because if you're not, oh, wait a minute. Are you doing 50 grams of carbs a day? Total, not net? Well, that can't be right. Well, whatever works. Keep that in mind. What works for me probably will work for anybody because I'm probably very much like now, the difference being someone else may not need to do what I do. Some people can consume more food and consume more carbs, and they are still very healthy metabolically, and they are happy with themselves. That's great. Find what works for you and do it. Shut out some of the noise. There's a lot of conflicting information. Find a voice that speaks to you if you need to even listen to a voice. I mean, really, keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total not net. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry and stop when you're satiated. And actually, if you keep the carbs low, kind of the rest takes care of itself. It's difficult to eat fewer than 20 grams of carbs a day and eat anything that is not a fatty source of protein, a little bit of non-starchy vegetable, and a little bit of full fat dairy. Pretty much everything else is super carby. Oh, and by the way, I will say this. The keto products, they're not. If it says keto on the label, it's not. It's just not. It's very difficult to make something shelf stable without it being chock full of stabilizers, which are almost always wheat, cornstarch, something, things that are carbs. They'll tout their net carbs on the front of the label or dead giveaway how much protein there is. It's okay. So anyway, find what works for you. If it's different than what someone else is doing, you don't have to contact their YouTube channel and say that you're doing it differently and you're very happy. Okay, that's fine. And for goodness sake, if someone is finding success in a way that is different than you think things work, zip it. Keep your mouth shut. Applaud their success and move on with your day. It's I'm being a little scoldy today, aren't I? Maybe it's because of, things pile up and I hear things and people say things to me and write things to me unasked for, unsolicited opinions. That's okay too. Find something that works for you. Try to keep it as simple as possible and then tweak. I am still tweaking my practice. I consider my nutrition a practice because I keep changing. Guess what? Every day I'm older. More's the pity. No, not more's the pity. I'm grateful. Every day I'm older. And as Mark Twain wrote, better than the alternative. Now, I am going to turn my attention. Oh, a little commercial break. Couple of things. The Go Keto with Casey Roadshow is October 8th and 9th. You can see a link below. In Greensboro, North Carolina, it's Saturday afternoon, a meet and greet at a wine shop, and then Sunday at a really great facility, and we're going to have a cookout. My husband's going to be grill master. I plan on bringing my total gym. We can have feats of strength, a clothing exchange. So, the clothing version of leave a penny, take a penny, bring an item of clothing that maybe you don't wear anymore and someone else might be able to get use out of it. And we're going to have some smart friends that we're allowing to join us. Eric Westman, Jackie Eberstein, and Amy Berger will be hanging out with us. Rubbing elbows. No presentations. This is not a conference. This is getting together. Excuse me. Oh, my pink drink. Hashtag Casey's pink drink. I'm asked every time, what are you drinking? So listen. Glass full of ice. Diet tonic water. Splash of diet cranberry. And a squeeze of lime. I'm wearing, you don't have to buy one thing to be 100% successful at this protocol. Nothing. There's no powders or shakes or exogenous anythings that will make you successful. You just have to lay off the carbs. So, but I will sell you a t-shirt and a mug and a water bottle all day long. This is a Go Keto with Casey tank. For reference, this is a size small. You can see the link to my Teespring shop below. And I just started an Amazon storefront. Again, no keto products. I just get asked about stuff like my egg plate. People ask me about that egg plate or my Butterbell or my makeup. So I've made a shop. You can see the link below there too. Patrons, thank you, patrons. I have a private support group at patreon.com where for $5 a month, you get 20 pre-recorded video snippets from me made first thing every morning, every weekday morning. Up from there, patron-only live streams. I'm having one at 10 a.m. Eastern this morning. Up from there, handful of patron-only video group sessions. And up from there, one-on-ones with me a month. Thank you. Commercial over. Here's a water bottle. Oh, and here's a mug. Lay off the carbs. Lay off the excuses. All right. So thank you for the commercial over. I'm just trying to earn my keep, guys. So let me turn my attention to the comments and say hey to you guys. Hey, you guys. So I just jump in. Okay. Ashley Workman writes, listening while hitting the meat sale this morning. Yay. Meat on sale. De-aging seems to be the only way to live a longer life. Aging seems to be I thought that was part of your name. D writes, aging seems to be the only way to live a longer life. You know what? That's true. Pandora Hunter, I'm struggling, eating too much. Learning when to stop is hard. I've had success, but still like to lose more weight, about 100 pounds more. So got to keep trying and learning. Yeah, it is. Just because the food is simple, which does not mean this protocol is easy. We have to undo decades of habits. And let's face it, a lot of eating is habitual. It's not out of hunger or need, it's out of habit. D writes, at least it's not my mother-in-law saying, here, these are too big for me. At least it's not my mother-in-law saying, here, these are too, oh, yeah. That's a little snide thing, isn't it? Oh, here, dear, you take them. I swim in them. They're so massive on me, but this will be perfect for you. Yeah. Jackie Bennett, good morning from New York. D writes, Pandora Hunter, that's why I decided to go back to keto and really commit to it this time. This is the only way of eating I've ever done that eventually removes appetite so overeating stops. And that's the beauty of it. Soul Inspired writes, I would love to be a size medium. I started as a size 24W in the jeans that you can get at Costco, the Gloria Vanderbilts. 24W is the largest size they had. And the last time I bought, because I bought them as like inspirational things, and I loved coming down the sizes. And the last time I bought one were the smallest ones they have in those jeans, the size 6. Yeah, just wearing a piece of clothing without a W after it or an X in the size was such an accomplishment. I loved it. Victoria Rosalba. Hi, Casey. Can you please speak to how long it took you to cue in your hunger signals and satiety? Some newbies don't know when they're actually hungry and actually full. Yes, thank you, Victoria. So I was not doing this for weight loss. I was doing it because I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I'd given up on losing weight. So I Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I saw the white coat video of Dr. Eric Westman, my pal, now my pal, and he will be at the Roadshow. So I started doing it. I lost weight. I also felt much better almost immediately, and my joint pain dissipated and all the other good things that can happen. The weight was amazing that it did not drop off of me, okay? It didn't melt off. It's not like someone took a cleaver and knocked off. I was a normal, gradual loser. The first year, I lost 47 pounds. And I was thrilled. It took 2 years to lose the next 50 pounds. I was still thrilled. But hunger, so getting to the hunger. So I had gotten to a point, and I had an opportunity to attend the in-person Durham support group meetings with Dr. Eric Westman. So this was way back in 2018. I just attended, sat way in the back, and asked the question. I'd lost, at that point, I don't recall how much weight. Probably about 35 pounds, something like that. I really don't remember. But whatever it was, I hadn't lost any more weight in maybe 3 weeks. Now, I didn't lose every day, but it really seemed like things had leveled off. So I raised my hand and asked, what gives? So Dr. Westman asked qualifying questions. Are you doing this, this, this? Are you burning fat for fuel? Yes. And at the time, I was testing my ketones with the urine strips and blood. So yes, I was burning fat for fuel. Okay. So then he got to some other questions. Then he said, do you only eat when you're hungry? And that stumped me because I couldn't say that I did. The next morning, I found myself standing right there in front of my refrigerator, doors open, 10:30 in the morning, looking for something to eat. And I asked myself, am I hungry? Or am I just doing this because I usually come in here at 10:30 in the morning and get something to eat? Was I there out of habit or out of hunger? And it was habit. So I didn't eat. And then as time went on, I started recognizing that I would feel a little peckish. Peckish is when I could eat. I'm not full. I'm not starving. I'm just peckish. And so I would push the peckishness. And it didn't get worse until I might be the same level of peckish. I'm peckish right now as I say these words, but I have some other appointments today. So I'm probably not going to have my first plate of fuel until those are over. And I'll still be peckish and maybe a little bit more peckish. But for years, we've eaten when our brain says, get me more food, because we're burning sugar for fuel and our brain needs more glucose. When you start burning fat for fuel, the brain is happy burning ketones for fuel. Our brain loves it. So it's not saying, get me some more glucose. So you don't have to eat the carbs. So you can go longer. So pushing the peckishness for me, I push it. It's kind of akin to, if you walk past a ladies' room or a gentleman's room, you may say, yeah, I could go. I could probably go, but I don't need to. And then you wait a little while longer. Then no, someone says, you want to go to a ladies' room with me? No, I'm good. I could probably go, but no, I'm good. At some point you say, okay, now I need to be excused. That's kind of peckish. Okay, I should eat now. So, and then I don't eat until I'm full. I eat until I'm satiated, and there is a fine difference there. The best thing that I've started doing is slowing down while I eat. It gives leptin, the satiety hormone, a chance to get to the brain to say you've had enough. That takes a few minutes. And some people shovel, they hover over their plate and they shovel, shovel, shovel. They're eating faster than they can swallow just about. So you've finished an entire plate of food in a few minutes, and leptin hasn't had a chance to say, wow, you've had enough. So slow up while you're eating. Put the utensils down, lean back, savor the food. When I don't do that, I recognize that I've probably eaten more than I required. And I feel kind of, oh, that was too much, even though I'm eating much less than I used to eat. So we do have to listen and keep in mind, even if you're hungry, if you're burning fat for fuel, you're not going to pass out. You burn fat for fuel, you've got plenty of energy on board. Plenty. Even lean people have thousands of calories of energy available to them. So, great question, Victoria. Hope you're doing well. Tracy M writes, I started keto to get blood sugar issues under control, and the weight loss was just a bonus. I've had great success. I just wish people wouldn't comment on what I'm eating or not eating, right? Uh, I did run into that with, people from my previous self. Well, and I finally just in a calm way, away from the moment that it was happening, saying, please, you don't need to comment. Like, don't tell the server, oh, don't bother with her. She doesn't eat food. Clearly, I eat food. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. You didn't offend me. I just don't think it's a very interesting topic. And it's inaccurate what you said. So I had to do that. And of course, I haven't really heard from that person again. Yeah, just change the subject. Nobody gets a vote on what you eat. And why they're not really interested. Sometimes they're actually interested. Like if you've lost weight, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because they're genuinely curious. But some people want to say, is that all you're going to eat? Because they think it highlights how much food is on their plate or how much they are eating. Lori Forsyth writes, my goal of getting off meds is close. No more metformin, only one blood pressure med, down from 4. Love this practice. And it is a practice, right? Anton writes, began no red meat in January 2021, lost 25 pounds in 2021. Then low carb on February 2nd, 2022, lost 20 more pounds. Congratulations. Soul Inspired writes, I'm wearing an X and I'm 5'11", but it doesn't matter. I'm big all over. When I'm stressed, I eat sugar. Right. And does that help the stress? Honestly, does it? Or do you just feel stressed as soon as it's, passed through your gullet? Do you then feel stressed and guilty? Eating is a behavior. Actually, my calendar this year for 2022, one of the things was employ the BLAST method when making food decisions. BLAST, you ask? Don't eat if you're bored, lonely, angry, stressed, or tired. Don't make food decisions under that. It's kind of like the HALT thing. Fanny Hendricks, hunger and cravings will disappear when the brain is rewired. It's fantastic. You're absolutely correct. D writes, Soul Inspired, something Casey said that helped me was you only crave something because you still eat it. Stop eating stuff for a while, which is hard, but you can do it. And the cravings stop. Absolutely. Yeah, I've likened cravings to the stray cat. If you don't want the cat to come back, don't feed it. I speak from experience. Our late cat, Luna, who was 17 when she finally passed, she was a stray cat at our side porch, and I fed her, and she came back. Cravings are the same way. Stop feeding them, and you won't, I don't crave anything. I don't crave anything. Now, if the fairy carb mother came down and tapped me on the head and said, you can eat anything you want, and you can still feel good, and your blood pressure will be great, and your blood sugar is going to be great, and all of your yes, I would eat it. But the fairy carb mother has not visited me. Excuse me. Tina Barkin writes, I've been at my goal weight for about 6 months. My weight is starting to creep back up, 4 pounds in 6 weeks. I haven't changed what or how much I eat. Should I make any changes? I'm under 20 total carbs. Well, I have had that experience as well. And almost always I can identify I'm eating more food than I require. Now, keep in mind, I don't know your age or your stage of life. Um, Sometimes hormonal fluctuations can impact, particularly with women, can impact weight. But if your clothes are fitting the same way and you're feeling okay, um, 4 pounds is nothing. We can fluctuate that from water. But if it's true weight gain and you're still burning fat for fuel and you're not overeating dietary fat, bunch of oil in your coffee or fat bombs galore or, you know, a dozen chaffles a day. If you're not adding dietary fat and you're burning fat for fuel, look at how much you're eating actually and push the peckishness and smaller portions. I eat much less food than I did even a year ago. Now, does this mean I will eventually eat no food? No, of course not. But percentage wise, I mean, if I used to eat about 1,100 calories a day and I cut out 2 slices of cheese a day, that's 200 calories. Doesn't sound like much, but that's nearly 20% of my daily intake. I don't need the 2 slices of cheese. Cheese is so good. Cheese is a tough one for a lot of people. Hudson V lost 90 pounds and nobody said a word when they saw me. I couldn't believe it. Wow. Well, some people are afraid to reference how anyone looks, even if it would be a compliment and it would be a welcome statement. Referencing someone's size can be a minefield. Some people just Gal, hey, even in ketosis, I have to fight wanting to snack. But as Casey says, we can do hard things. We can do hard things. I'm stronger than a cookie. That's my best-selling t-shirt. By the way, I'm going to be doing t-shirts and stuff at Amazon because frankly, it'll be fulfilled faster. And if you're a Prime member, you get free shipping. So I'm moving some of my t-shirt designs over to Amazon, which you can also see at my store. I'm stronger than a cookie. I just made one of those at Amazon, one of those shirts. And there's a member of the club, Deborah Barnes, been following you for so very long. Don't get to tune in much. You've kept me on track so well. Down 75 pounds since 2018, up and down a little. Certainly love how I feel. So much more energy. I'm 59. Fantastic. Who would have thought you'd feel better at 59 than you did? I feel much better at my age. Excuse me. Perdóname. Than I did in my 40s and a good chunk of my 30s. It's, which is great because we've been told explicitly that as you get older, things just fall apart and you start to feel terrible. And I did feel terrible until I made a change. And now I feel great. Most days. Some days I don't feel so great. I woke up with a headache this morning. I feel flabbier than I want to. I feel like I'm losing some muscle tone. And I could wonder why that is. It's because I've not been doing my exercises as consistently. Guess what? If you don't do it, it doesn't work. It's kind of like laying off the carbs. I don't understand. All I did was eat that one cheat meal a week. Okay, well, that doesn't work for me. Wouldn't work for me. Okay, so which keto is best? The one that you do that works for you. That it's like people say, what's the best exercise? The one that you'll do. And keto's not for everybody. Either because they're just not going to make a change. They would rather take the insulin and have a foot amputated than give up dessert. That's their call. It's not a very nice call because you're just transferring your healthcare off worries onto somebody else. And some people don't need to do it. They are healthy and happy. Some people are healthy and happy in their youth, and then things start to change. So within our own practice, tweaking, listening to our body, making changes. That's the keto. That's the best. And I'm just using keto as that's the nutrition protocol. That's the best. The one that works for you and that you'll do and leaves you happy, healthy, and fit. All right. Check out my Amazon storefront. I'm really excited about this. There are no keto products there. It's just stuff I actually use and I've purchased myself and I like. Everything, like I said, from my makeup to my my essential oil diffuser to our air fryer. And if there's something I got that I didn't like, I didn't put it on the store. Okay. Thanks, friends. I hope to see you at the Go Keto with Casey Roadshow. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total not net. If it's not on page 4, link below. Don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated and be patient. Thanks. See you next time.